Hey everyone, here's a quick and simple way to set up a local environment for debugging Lambdas. The first thing you need to do is install the AWS Toolkit extension for VS Code. This extension will do most of the heavy lifting for us. Once it's installed, bring up the command palette, which is Ctrl-Shift-P on Windows, and Linux and Command-Shift-P on Mac. Then type Create Lambda and choose the option Create Lambda SAM application. We will then be prompted to set a few options for the extension to bootstrap our Lambda. We first select the application runtime. I'll be using Python or this example. You'll notice there's two different types of each application runtime. You can select image, which uses a Docker image, or you can use the non-image option, which means your Lambda is deployed with a zip file. I recommend using the Docker image option. Next, select the architecture. I'll be using x86-64. Choose the Hello World template. Finally, choose the name for your application, or press Enter to leave the default name. Now let's look at what the extension created for us. If we look in the Hello World directory, you can find the Docker file for this Lambda function, which contains the build steps for it. You'll also find a file called app, which is where your Lambda function is defined. Now let's set a breakpoint within our Lambda function so we can use the debugger within a Lambda context. Start the debugger by going to the Run and Debug tab. Then click Start Debug to use the launch configuration the extension created for us. You will see the Docker build steps being executed. Shortly after, our Docker container containing our Lambda code will run and pause execution at the breakpoint we've set. It's that simple. If you want to change any launch configuration parameters, you can open the launch.json file to modify it. Or if you want to modify the event that's sent to your Lambda when you run it, you can modify the event.json file. Lastly, you can see the CloudFormation template by opening the template.yaml file. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more cloud development content like this, or like this video if you found it helpful.